All right, joining me now is Shane Christie, who will defend his 559 fights welterweight title at Fury C66 July the 9th. He meets Joseph Palacios. Shane, how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Good, man. And I want to start with you winning the belt. This was in April. It was a UD win over David Mariscal. How pleased are you and your team with that performance?
Uh, pretty. It pretty much went almost exactly to plan, like how we thought it was going to, except for like maybe like the last 10 seconds of the fight. But everything else went exactly how we thought it was going to.
Are you disappointed that you didn't get the finish, or is this just a guy where you know he's really game, he's a tough fighter, so you expected it to maybe go the duration?
I was expecting it to go the whole fight with him because I was like, he's been fighting for like the last 10 years. Like I'm sure he knows how to keep himself in a fight. So I was expecting to go all 3 rounds with him. I wasn't really a finish would have been nice, but I wasn't counting on it.
All right. And what did it mean for you to win this belt? I don't know if this is your first title, but especially, as an amateur collecting those belts before you turn pro, that's got to mean a lot, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was the week following after winning it was probably the best, but I mean, it's not all that.
What was that
It's
week
just
like? Did you do any partying?
whatever. Nah, but it's just like it was just kind of crazy to me. Like I only started fighting 10 months ago. I already have the belt. So that was kind of crazy to me just thinking about that. Like I already beat the top guy in three fights. So, but there's more work to do, more stuff. I got to get better. I want to be a better fighter. So it's just enjoy it, but ready to move on from that too. Also,
Well, tell me how you got into to mixed martial arts. If you just started training 10 months ago and you're already 4-0 and you collected a belt, I mean, that's pretty impressive. How did you fall into this?
uh, I've been wrestling since I was 7, and out of high school, I was gonna go wrestle in college, but the just because of the pandemic and stuff, the wrestling program uh wasn't able to run. So I was just looking for somewhere to wrestle. So I found a gym here in Porterville to wrestle at, and then they also had MMA and stuff as well. So then I got into it like that, and then just started kind of learning a little bit of jujitsu. I didn't really like boxing and stuff at first because I couldn't really put myself in where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go in here and get punched in the head and stuff. Like I don't want to do that. So I first just started learning jujitsu, and then later on, I got talked into doing a fight maybe a couple months after I started training. So I started boxing and stuff like maybe a month and a half before my first fight. So it just kind of all came one after another, pretty much. But initially, though, I was just trying to wrestle.
How comfortable are you feeling now? If, like, let's say you were fighting another, wrestler with great takedown defense, and the fight took place, on the feet for the duration, do you feel really comfortable in your stand-up skill set?
Yeah, yeah, comfortable enough. Like it could be better, but I feel for the level I'm at right now, like the level of fighters I'm going against, I'm pretty comfortable with it.
My father was a very accomplished wrestler himself, and he always told me that he felt wrestling was the most important discipline when it comes to mixed martial arts. How do you feel about that? And when you're in a fight, to have that in your back pocket, to always be able to go back to your wrestling pedigree, how does that feel to know such a high level wrestler as yourself can go in there and utilize that?
I was just thinking about that. That's like I'm so glad I have that to fall back on because the guys that go out there and they're stand-up fighters and then no ground game really. Like as soon as the fight hits the mat, which 95% of the fights do, like you're a fish out of water and you're lost. So I'm glad I have wrestling to fall back on no matter what. And like pretty much the stronger wrestler or the stronger fighter on the mat. That like helps me a lot.
Tell me
Like
a little bit about what
I
life is like for you outside of camp. Like when are you in school? Do you work? What is that training life balance like?
I just work and train. I work early in the morning usually, so I work from like 4:30 in the morning to like 1 o'clock. And most of the most of the week I'll go straight from work right into boxing. Well, my boxing coach, he also does my speed and agility and my strength training. So I go straight to him after work usually, and we're doing either boxing, strength training, or speed and agility. And then I have about an hour in between there, and then I'll go to Visalia, and then I'll work with my coach Darren, and he helps me on my Muay Thai and stand up, and then just like mixing my stand up with my wrestling, and just like putting everything together basically. And then after that at 6:30 at night, I have another practice, and that's my home gym with my coach George. And we just do jiu-jitsu, boxing, just whatever. So I usually do work and then 3 practices a day after that, and then I'm pretty worn down after that. Go home, go to bed, wake up the next day, do it again.
What do you do for work? What is your job?
I just work at a store. I work part-time, so I got a lot of free time to train.
And man, getting up at 4:30 in the morning or before that to work, that takes some discipline, man. Is that ever hard for you?
Mm, yeah, I guess so. It's just I've been doing it for so long now. I don't really think about it, but yeah, it's tiring sometimes. But yeah, you get rest whenever the
All right.
work's done.
So for anybody that hasn't seen you fight, if there's anybody out there that might be watching this interview, compare your style to someone maybe that's in the UFC or Bellator, a well-known fighter. Do you feel like there's someone that you're similar to?
No, because I wrestle so much. I got I just recently started watching UFC more and stuff, and those guys are crazy. The majority of them got the stand up, they got the wrestling, they stand and bang for a round before they go into the wrestling. So I don't think I could compare my style to anyone that high just yet.
What are your goals as far as a mixed martial artist go? I mean, I got to imagine maybe take a couple more amateur fights, turn pro eventually. Do you want to be in the UFC one day?
I mean, if the opportunity presents itself, yeah, but I'm not sure how like far into the future I'm looking with this. I'm just kind of going with the flow, just taking everything as it comes. But as far as fighting pro and stuff, though, I think this might be my last amateur fight, just depending how it goes, how I feel in there. Because my last fight, I felt pretty comfortable inside the cage. Like my awareness was good. Like where I was in the round, the time. Like I didn't know that I couldn't see a clock while I was in there, but just kind of knowing like beginning of the round, midway through the round, what's going on. Like I feel pretty comfortable. Like and I think I'm ready to move on to the next step.
How old are you now?
19.
Oh man, you're still so young. You'd be like the
Yeah.
Sage Northcutt turning pro really early.
Yeah, no, I will. I mean, I, I'm beating everyone pretty effortlessly. Like my last fight was tough, but there wasn't 1 second in that fight where I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna lose it." Like, oh, like I think he might get me, or like he might get the best of me. So it's like I don't want to be the big fish in a small pond for 5 years and not go anywhere. I'd rather move on faster. You know, go fight with some better guys and like see if I'm really cut out for it or not.
What is that cut to 170 like for you? What do you typically walk around at?
Oh, it's I gotta drop a weight class. I walk around well right now I've been walking around between 177 and 180 because I'm getting ready to drop to 155, so I'm getting my body weight down right now. But I mean before that I would walk around about 189, 188, but I didn't have the best diet though. I was just eating whatever I wanted to. But for my fight on Friday, I'm already on weight right now. I weighed in this morning 169, not really trying too hard. I've done about an hour of jogging with the sauna suit on, split up into different sessions, and I'm on weight already. So the cut to 170 is nothing.
All right, man. If you do defend this title and you want to go out and celebrate something afterwards, what's going to be the cheat meal? What would you go to for a nice post-fight victory meal?
Probably some pizza.
Yeah. Okay, I like it. Pizza.
Yeah,
That
that's
was my
that's
go-to.
that's what I look forward to throughout my whole training camp is the meals after the fight.
There you go. Well, we're still a few days away, so I won't talk to you too much about it. I don't want you to start salivating because you just got to stay on weight. Let's talk about this matchup. Again, Fury FC 66. You're defending your 559 fights title July the 9th. Now, the main card is going to be on UFC Fight Pass. Will your fight be on UFC Fight Pass as well?
I don't think so. No,
That's going to be pretty
I
exciting
don't.
to know you're on the undercard of a big event like this.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's pretty cool. I get to fight early too, so that's pretty cool.
What's the travel like to the venue? Is it far from you?
Oh no, it's like 30 minutes.
Okay. And who will be in your corner come fight night?
My coach George and my coach Darren are going to be in my corner for this one.
All right. And I was looking at your opponent's record on Tapology, Joseph Palacios. He's 3-1. All three of his wins are finishes. So he clearly has that finishing pedigree. Do you feel this is the most dangerous fight of your career?
I don't. I feel like my last one was my most dangerous because that guy had so much experience, and he also had a lot of finishes. He had a lot of submission finishes too. So I don't know. I watched his fights. He is a pretty good fighter, but I know the guys that he fought weren't the best. So it's like I can't really judge how solid is how solid he is off these guys that he's fighting. But I know that last guy he fought though was a pretty coming at him pretty good, and he got a real good knockout. So I do know that if I give him the chance that he can knock me out, and looks like a strong motherfucker. But I mean, I guess that's just anybody though. Like you give anybody a shot like that, they're gonna knock your head off.
So is this a fight where you know he's got knockout power? You might lean on your wrestling ability here to get the win?
Mm, that's something I've been working on, is not trying to lean on it so much. Like stand up and strike until the shot presents itself. Because in my third fight, I was just kind of like rushing the takedown, trying to get the takedown so bad that I couldn't get it. So I've been trying to not, like, if it's there, we're gonna take it. But we're gonna set it up with the hands first. We're gonna do something with the hands first to set the takedown up. So I'm not really looking at on leaning on it too heavy, but I know, well, I believe that if it goes to the mat though, that it's gonna be heavily in my favor once we get there.
Okay. Well, last question for me. Official prediction. How do you see this ending?
Uh, I think this might be a long, hard fight. I think it's either we're gonna go all 3 rounds, or I think if I get him down, I say second round TKO if I could get him to the mat.
All right, my man. Well, best of skill come fight night in defending your title. I appreciate the time today. Before I do let you go, I want to give you the floor. Tell people where they can follow you on social media. If you have anyone to thank, any sponsors, the floor is yours.
Just to my sponsors, Uppercut Barbershop, Ernie Nicholas, Tully River Tribal Council, Hardcore Natives, Portable Pawn Shop, Glory Graphics, and I think that's about it.